Blah,
Okay.
blah, 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 blah.
Here we go.
Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
This is how we're opening the new year, guys.
Blah, 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 blah.
We're having the
blah,
gibberish
blah,
national
blah,
anthem, so.
Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah.
Should I put my hand on my heart this point? Or?
But I'm not
I
gonna do it anymore. I'm not gonna do it anymore. Plus, I didn't want to have to hit those high notes. Yeah.
All right.
Happy New Year, everybody. Hey everybody, and a Happy New Year as we welcome you to the first 2020 installment of On a Couch Talking Sports. As always, I'm Robbie. This is Kyle. Kyle, Happy New Year to you, man. How are you tonight?
I'm great.
How's your 2020 going so far?
I mean, for the first couple of weeks can't complain too much, so.
There you go. Yeah, it's been good. It's been cold, but it's been good.
Yeah, a little chilly today, yeah.
Chill.
Icy cold.
But, so what we want to do is it's kind of become a tradition here on a Couch Talking Sports is if you watched our episode at the beginning of last year, the beginning of 2019, you'll remember that we made a few predictions for sort of sports-related things that we thought were going to happen in the year 2019. So we wanted to review those, see how we did with our prognosticating, and then sort of continue the tradition by making 3 sports-related predictions for the year 2020. So, I actually happen to have here, I noted down our predictions and how we did. So let me just pull it up here. So, for the year 2019, I predicted that the Red Sox would repeat as World Series champions. Newsflash, they did not. They didn't even make the playoffs, so unfortunately I was wrong about that one, so darn you, Red Sox. Then I predicted that the Patriots would make the Super Bowl, which they did, and they won the Super Bowl. Much better last year than they did this year, which we'll get into in a little bit. And then I also predicted that the Celtics would host a first-round series in the playoffs, and I was correct on that as well. They hosted the Indiana Pacers and actually swept the Indiana Pacers in 4 games to win that first-round series. So I went 2 for 3, which not bad. 66%. Not the end of the world. Kyle. So Kyle predicted the Montreal Canadiens would make the playoffs, and they did not. They came up a little bit short, so unfortunately he did not get that one right. Kyle then made the really wild prediction that the Boston Celtics would win the NBA championship last year, which actually wasn't all that far-fetched at the time, but unfortunately they did not, as they ended up losing in the second round of the playoffs to the Milwaukee Bucks. But Kyle did redeem himself with his last pick, as he said that the Wellesley High football team would make the playoffs, and they did make it, and they actually won a playoff game. They defeated, who did they defeat? New Bedford. They defeated New Bedford in the first round before ultimately losing to Natick in the semifinals, but they did bounce back to win on Thanksgiving, so all is forgiven.
Natick's a tough team anyway.
Yeah. So, now that so Kyle went 1 for 3, I went 2 for 3, so I guess technically I won, but, we're not
Who's
really.
counting?
Yeah. So now it is time to make our 2020 predictions.
All right.
I'm very excited about this.
Yes.
So,
I'm literally just going to pull these out of my butt, guys.
Of course, like you always do.
I haven't even thought of that.
That's right. I haven't really, given it a ton of thought either, so it's going to be like... But, alright. So my first 2020 prediction actually doesn't have anything to do with Boston sports. I know that's shocking. But my prediction is that the San Francisco 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl this year. Obviously, the Patriots are out, unfortunately, which again I will get into more coming up in a little bit. But there is a former Patriots quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo, who is the starter for the 49ers and led them to the top seed in the NFC and has them playing very, very well. And so I don't know. I just have this feeling that San Francisco is going to take it all the way this year. I think it's going to be tough. I mean, Baltimore's very good. There's some teams in the NFC that really could give them quite a run for their money. But I'm gonna go out on that ledge, and I'm gonna say that the San Francisco 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl. So we'll find that out coming up here in the next month or so. My second prediction is that, again, this might be a little bit out here as well, but I'm going to go for it. The Boston Bruins are going to win the Eastern Conference again this year. Now, nobody expected the Bruins to win it last year, and guess what? They did. Now, you can say what you want. They had an easy run, upper teams got eliminated, whatever you want to say. But the fact of the matter is that they got the job done and won the Eastern Conference. Unfortunately, they lost in the Stanley Cup Finals, but I think that the way this team is playing, I think that they have a really good chance to get back there again this year. So I'm going to, again, go out on that limb and say that the Bruins are going to win the Eastern Conference title this year in the playoffs. So, again, we'll have to sort of wait and see a few months to see if that pick comes to fruition. And then my third pick is that I believe that next fall, the Boston College football team is going to win more than 7 games. BC has sort of been stuck in like 7-win seasons now, 6 or 7-win season mediocrity for a few years now. They fired their old coach, Steve Adazio. The new coach, Jeff Hafley, has officially begun his tenure as BC head coach. I'm very excited about it. And I just believe that he has what it takes, even that first season, to, make this team a lot more competitive than it has been. And I believe that they are going to win at least 8 games next season with the talent that they have coming back and the new coaching staff. I have a good feeling about things. So, so those are my 3 predictions. Again, it's 49ers winning the Super Bowl, Bruins winning the Eastern Conference, and the BC football team winning at least 8 games in the fall of 2020. So we'll have to see. I think it's kind of funny. I think all 3 of my predictions are ones that could go either way. So I'm very intrigued to see how I do with these 3 predictions. That's okay. But we'll go for it, man. come January of next year, we'll see how I fared. But yeah, let me turn it over to my good buddy here, my cohort, Kyle. Kyle, what are your 3 predictions for the world of sports in the year 2020? And remember, just for the record, it can be anything sports related. It does not, it can be whatever level you would like. Just let us know what are you thinking.
All right. Well, I got a couple ideas since the episode began. Because I always like to do everything last second.
Of course.
So one of the things I was thinking about a little bit, and this has always been a question that people I feel like had in their minds, and this was the Tom Brady question about whether he was, everyone has these speculations. Is he coming back to the Patriots? Is he not? Is he going to get a new contract with them or another team? Like, what's going to happen with all that?
Right.
I think after this year, so I did do a little bit of thinking and talking with family and friends about it, and I think he is going to come back on the Pats for at least another year or 2.
Okay.
At the very least.
Okay, cool.
I had to think about, because if you think about it kind of now, I'm not a big football stats person and everything, but this is just kind of more of like a common sense thing. Like, Tom Brady is 43 years old now?
Yes. 42, 43, I forget exactly, but it's either 42 or 43, yeah.
Like, I don't think it would be, in the long run, that great of a move for another team to draft him, because he's only going to be there for like a few years, unless they want to use him as more like a coaching tool, which I can understand that. But at the end of the day, I think I don't know. He seems very tied to the Patriots, even though his contract is over. And I think because of this last game, which I know you're gonna go over in your recap there with the New England sports, New England football. Or Boston football. Hold on.
Robbie's favorite football recap.
I can never remember names of anything.
That's right.
I don't even know the name of my own segment, actually. But anyways, I couldn't think of it. But yeah, I think it's likely that he's going to be back on the Patriots at the very least for one more year. That's
okay. So just to sort of formalize this prediction, you predict that Tom Brady will be playing for the Patriots in the 2020 season.
Yeah,
okay.
At the very, very least.
Right. Well, I'm just trying to formalize it for the year 2020.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Since they're going to.
All right. You know what? I hope you're right. Obviously, it's kind of like up in the air, like what's going to happen with Brady, but you'll have to wait and see. But hey, that's why we're trying. We don't know these things. We're just trying to play prognosticators. So it'll be fun to see what if that comes true. And I hope it does. Like I said. So all right. What is pick number 2 or prediction number 2?
Okay, prediction number 2. This is a little trick here. I guess I'll stick with football because that's kind of been the sport I've been following the most throughout the year. I feel like even more so than hockey, basketball, and those other sports.
Fair.
So I'll stick with football for now. I'll say the Seahawks will win it all for the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So
okay.
I'm going in for a little bit of a different, similar prediction to Robbie's, but different team.
Hey, you know what? That would not surprise me, actually. I mean, the Seahawks have been very tough this year, and I mean, obviously with Russell Wilson and that defense.
Yeah, that guy's awesome.
I mean, I think they have as good a chance as any. They're actually going to be. The funny thing is that they are actually going to be playing. Are the Seahawks playing the 49ers? Hold on a second, folks. Sorry, I'm doing a little in-show research here, sort of behind the scenes.
Going to interwebs.
No, I'm sorry. The 49ers are playing the Vikings, and then the Seahawks are playing the Packers. All right, so
okay,
yeah. So there's potential there. Those two teams could actually meet up for the NFC title, which would be pretty wild.
That'd be cool.
All right, so you like the Seahawks to win the Super Bowl. What about your third and final prediction?
Okay.
For the year 2020.
Third and final prediction. All right, I'm going to go a little different on this one. I'm going to sort of switch this one around a little bit. I'm going to actually make a prediction / resolution, if you will.
Okay.
I don't think I've done this before, but this is more of a personal goal in mind.
Sure.
So for those of you who don't know out there, I'm actually a preschool teacher. I teach 3-year-olds on a daily basis. My resolution / prediction / resolution, more on the resolution end of things. I would like to teach my kids track.
Okay.
How I will do that, I don't exactly know. I have some ideas here and there, but I would like to get my class either this year or my new class in the fall to learn a little bit about track. Maybe to go as far as running in the track or doing some throwing, just some light events here and there. So that's kind of my goal / resolution. I'd like to do that.
Well, it has to be a prediction. So you're predicting basically that you will, in the year 2020, teach your preschoolers track.
Yeah.
All right. And I think, you know what? You're going to do it. I have faith in you. No, seriously. I think this is one that you're going to get done.
Thank you.
Good feeling.
Appreciate it. I've been thinking about it for a while. I've been wanting to do that. I've been wanting to implement track into the curriculum. And the cool thing about the school I work in is that they're pretty flexible with the curriculum. So, as long as there's a kind of a learning angle to it, I feel like you can actually, there is a really cool way, implementing science, math, all that stuff by teaching them track. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
So, just to recap, our 3 predictions for the year 2020 in terms of sports. I've predicted that the San Francisco 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl. I've predicted that the Boston Bruins are going to win the Eastern Conference. And I've predicted that BC football is going to win at least 8 games. Kyle has predicted that the Seattle Seahawks are going to win the Super Bowl. He has predicted that Tom Brady will be playing for the Patriots once again in the fall of 2020. And he has predicted that he will teach his preschoolers track at some point during this year. So, like I said, it'll be very interesting to see how this all works out. We will sort of come back in January of 2021 and see, like I said, how we have fared with our predictions. So, looking forward to really seeing what the year has in store for us sports-wise in terms of those predictions and otherwise. So, now to close out the year 2019, in a sense, we're actually going to go first to our last fantasy football recap of this year because both my teams were finished out a couple weeks ago, for our last episode. Kyle actually did have one.
Oh, I see. Oh, hold on. Okay. Sorry. Don't mind me, sorry.
No worries. But Kyle did have one last game in the final week of 2019, the third place game of our league. So, Kyle, I'm going to turn it over to you. Why don't you tell the folks how you fared in your final contest of the season?
Well, it was a close game. It was a very close game. It came down to a few points, but I managed to be third place. So,
woo! Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah, way to go, Kyle.
Thank you.
I'm trying to pull it up. Here. There we go. Yeah, so you won 101.14 to 98.96. Yeah. If you want to just take a look.
It was
how
tricky.
Thank
you. So, Winston, my quarterback, did pretty good. He got 16 points. Diggs didn't show up. Probably was injured. I don't know.
Yeah. Just
didn't show up. But that's okay because, I think it was Allen Robinson. Yep, Allen Robinson did a great job. A.J. Brown, wow, he got 18 points. Then there was Marlon Mack. He gave me 19 points. And then Cook, my tight end, Jared Cook, he's had I feel like a progressively better season.
Yeah.
And then my kicker, Justin Tucker, best kicker of all time apparently.
Well, he's been playing for the top team in the AFC, the Ravens. He's had a lot of chances to kick field goals and extra points. So
yeah, my God, he got 17 points. So yeah, no, I gotta say it was a close game. Good game for the other team that I play against. It was exciting to see.
And you could say that you ended your season with a victory.
Yeah.
I think we actually both can in that league, because I think I won the 11th place game. So
you did?
Yeah. So I think we both actually, looking back on it, ended our seasons with victories. And,
yes.
in our league, at least. So now is on to the 2020 fantasy season. I already can't wait for it.
Yeah. Maybe I'll actually show up instead of auto draft this time.
Me too. Even though it's my league.
Although sometimes it's kind of fun to auto draft because I like to see what you can do with just the rag tab kind of random.
Hey, you did pretty well. You finished in third.
There you go.
Yeah. So congratulations, like I said.
Thank you.
All right. So now. We are now going to move on to the last installment this season of the Robbie's Favorite Football Recap, as I was sort of teasing earlier, because now all 3 teams' seasons are officially at an end. I will start with Boston College, who, as I said last time, was 6-6 to finish the regular season, heading into their bowl game against Cincinnati a couple days after New Year's. And unfortunately, they came up short. They ran into a very tough Cincinnati team and got beat pretty handily. So unfortunately, they end their season with a 6-7 mark. But as I said, heading into the new season in 2020, they do have a new coach. There's a lot of excitement starting to surround the program again, and so I can't wait to see, what kind of success the new coach and his staff generates, coming up in their first season in 2020. So it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. And then, of course, we have to talk about this. The New England Patriots, unfortunately, lost to the Miami Dolphins in the final regular season game, where they had a chance to get a bye in the first round of the playoffs, but unfortunately came up a bit short as the Dolphins scored a last-minute touchdown to beat them.
Reception touchdown.
No, that was I'm talking about the Dolphins.
Wait, oh my God, sorry,
Dolphins. Yeah, Dolphins. I'm about to get to that.
Oh my God.
So that basically put them in the wild card round, where they hosted the Tennessee Titans this past Saturday at Gillette Stadium. And unfortunately, despite they were up early and it looked good early, but unfortunately the Titans defense shut the Patriots out in the second half, and the Patriots fell by a 20-13 final. It's tough. They had, obviously, I'm not that surprised. The Patriots did have a lot of struggles, especially offensively this year with the receiving core, and Brady, didn't necessarily look as sharp as he has in previous years. But I don't know. I guess I just expected them to really turn it on in January and find a way to make a deeper run. But wasn't meant to be this year, so we just got to turn the page and move forward to 2020, and see who's here next year. If Brady's coming back,
we'll see.
Josh McDaniels is coming back as offensive coordinator. If Josh McDaniels is coming back as offensive coordinator, a bunch of other key players, Matthew Slater, Devin McCourty, have kind of teased possibly retiring or whatever. So we'll have to see what happens there. Just there's going to be a lot of intrigue and a lot of news this offseason regarding the Patriots. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. But
to brace ourselves,
just gotta look ahead to 2020, and at least we have the Celtics and Bruins to cheer about. I know Kyle is chomping at the bit for this next segment. He hasn't had a game to review for you guys in quite a long time, but he did say on last episode that he was going to make it one of his New Year's resolutions to review more games for you guys in the year 2020. And from what I hear, I don't know what he's got up his sleeve, literally or figuratively, but I hear that he's got something very exciting on tap for this first game review edition of 2020. So Kyle, take it away, my friend. What do you got what have you got out there for us?
All right, so I might have found just the ultimate game.
Okay.
Now the thing about this game, just for a little preface here, it's not really a sports game. But
I feel like half the games you do aren't really sports games, so that's all right.
However,
we've kind of got used to it.
Yeah. However, though, this game might be might have one of the biggest sports connections, though, and you'll see what I mean.
Okay.
So this is part of a series. Yes, I said a series. So right here, you're seeing this correctly.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. You saw it correct.
Oh, wow. Hold on, listen. Mind blown right now. My mind has literally been blown to smithereens right now after seeing this.
just take it.
You are seeing correctly, folks. You are not imagining this. You are not hallucinating. You are not tripping on acid or anything of that nature. You are seeing this live and in person.
Yes, and as you can see from the back, yep, that is Shaquille O'Neal in a mech suit. He's beating up all these just bad guys. Yeah, it's a fighting game. So it's a fighting game starring Shaquille O'Neal. And when you heard me say series, yes, there is more than one game in this in this series. It started in the early 90s, just a quick history lesson.
Okay.
On the Super Nintendo, Genesis, I don't think it came out for arcade, but it was a one-on-one fighter.
Just out of curiosity, what system is this particular one for?
Oh, so the one I'm going to get into in a second, this is actually for the Nintendo Switch right here.
Okay.
So, but you can also get on other systems. You can get on PS4, Xbox One. I think you can play on PC. Like you can buy on like Steam Digital. I believe. I'll have to double check on that one. But so it started in the early 90s. It was I think it was like 92, 93. They released the first game. It was just called Shaq Fu. It was on a cartridge. You can get it for Nintendo or Super Nintendo, Genesis, and it was a beat 'em up game. It was just a fighting game, one-on-one fighter. You play as Shaquille O'Neal, who just inexplicably knows these kung fu moves. He's a karate master in those games. Yeah. And he just beats up bad guys. They're just beat 'em up games. That's what they are. So this one it's just funny. It's really funny. The first game was actually one of the worst reviewed games on Super Nintendo. People just hated it. It was just a terribly made game, I guess. I hadn't played it, so I'll play it at some point, and maybe I'll bring that game onto maybe a future review. See how that game kind of stacks up. But I'm going to go with this particular game. So this game is just a straight beat 'em up. You just go from left to right, or mostly you just go right. It's like a side-scrolling style beat 'em up. You're Shaquille O'Neal. You know all these amazing kung fu moves, and you just beat up bad guys. That's what this game is. And you know what? If that doesn't, it's not an award-winning game. I'm going to say it right now. It's not going to win any awards. It's just a very simple, very straightforward game. If you think this is if you really kind of dig the humor in this game, if you just like the idea of being Shaq, beating up bad guys, dropping into mech suits, yep, just right here, that's Shaq in a mech suit right here, then this game is for you. That's all you need to know about it. It's not, the gameplay mechanics work. They're fine. Some people really hate this game. They say it's one of the worst games for Nintendo Switch. I enjoyed it. I think it's a lot of fun. It's just a very fun turn off your brain type of game. It's a very classic, it feels like an old school type of game. It's just you get all these power moves and everything. And it's just a lot of fun. And the story is just over the top ridiculous. It makes no sense. It basically has this alternate the origin story of Shaquille O'Neal in this game is that he was found by the water. He drifted ashore or something like that as a baby, and he was found by this kung fu master who trained him in all the arts. So it's just it's over the top. It has Icy Hot references. You collect Icy Hot in this game.
Oh my gosh!
To refill your health. It's a game that doesn't take itself seriously. It's incredibly meta. It's so much fun. I highly recommend playing this game. It's just just a lot of fun. They also have another big plus for this game. You're gonna like this one too.
Okay.
So I don't know if you saw the bonus content. So you're probably thinking, okay, what kind of content is this? There's a whole nother game in here. Yeah. So this is gonna blow your mind even more, probably. Actually,
my mind was already blown. Now the blown pieces of my mind have been even further blown by you just saying that.
Oh, you haven't seen anything yet. So this game, it's another Fu. So this one, as you call it, as it's called, Shaq Fu.
Right.
The other game, the downloadable content game, is called Barack Fu, and yes. It's Barack Obama. You get to play as Barack Obama. Also fighting bad guys. It's a beat 'em up starring Barack Obama, who's just kicking butt all over the place.
Wait, hold on a second.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just.
What is this madness?
Yeah,
loud noises.
Yeah, I couldn't believe when I saw this. I was like, wow. First of all, they made a sequel to one of the.
Let me just reiterate that. Wow, which spelled backwards is also wow.
Right. I couldn't wrap my head around this. Like this is technically a sequel to apparently one of the worst received games of all time. The developers were like, hey, let's take this series. We're just going to completely shoot it into the stratosphere of ridiculousness. There's no logic. We're not here to take this game seriously. It's just one of those types of games. It's a lot of fun. It does get a little tricky. There's a few different modes. You can go easy, medium, hard. If you're going to go medium or hard, you definitely have to be a veteran of this style of game, of the beat-em-up genre. And my only slight complaint, and this isn't a major complaint, is that it's only one player.
Oh.
Like, I would have loved it if it was two-player, if you could be Shaq and Obama teaming up to beat up
oh
the
my
bad
god,
guys.
that would be like the most amazing tag team like in the history of tag teams.
Exactly.
Shaq and Barack Obama together would just be like just a master class in kick-assery.
Exactly. It would be the most badass game of all time. So, honestly, guys, if you have a Switch, PS4, any of those new systems, get this game. Just a note, though, if you have a Switch, these are how small the carts are nowadays. So, yeah, they make them very, very tiny. So, just be careful if you have, 2-year-olds that like to eat everything. So, yeah.
Or dogs that like to eat everything.
Or dogs, yeah, exactly. Oh, God. So, but no, this game is everything and then some. It's a very silly game. The story is completely ridiculous, but just the amount of content in this game, it's basically 2 games, like I said. It's worth every second of your time, I think.
Cool.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Kyle, and I'm sure the people at Shaq Fu would be very pleased to hear your review. In fact, maybe somebody could show them that so we could get free copies of the free video games for life or something. Maybe they'll sponsor us. Maybe the creators of Shaq Fu will sponsor an episode. No, they're not going to.
No, the front. That's it.
No, not at all. All right. Well, thank you, Kyle. That was definitely quite a way to bring in the new year and the new decade in terms of video game reviews. So, well done, my friend. Well done.
Thank you.
All right. So, I don't know why I just went up 3 octaves there. All right. So that's going to wrap it up for this first 2020 installment of On a Couch Talking Sports. And also, by the way, if you have any sports-related predictions that you would like to share for the year 2020, feel free to drop us a comment.
Yeah, or
drop us Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, MySpace, smoke signals. Certified.
We really don't have a MySpace, guys.
Yeah, no, that'd be pretty crazy if we did.
That would be.
Send us a certified letter. I mean, just however. But
or even if you guys have any resolutions, maybe sports-related resolutions that you guys want to do. So
sure, send us those as well. Whatever floats your boat. But Happy New Year, like we said to you guys, and we can't wait to bring you even more exciting On a Couch episodes here in the year 2020. So, until next time, he's Kyle, I'm Robbie, signing off for On a Couch Talking Sports, and on behalf of Shaq, on behalf of Shaq, we will see you next time, everybody.